if it's snowing. It's such an advantage for the offense if we're throwing the ball. But right now, Colorado State's keeping the ball on the ground, getting it in McDougal's hands. And like you say, when they're good, Kevin McDougal's getting a lot of yards.
Got the ball at midfield. A little bit tough to see the yard markers for the players, the officials, and the announcers, as Colorado State going on 1st and 10 at midfield. Once again, it's McDougal. He tries the right side this time. He's hit and dropped there. Number 46, Michael Duran, the weak side linebacker from Indio, California, making the hit.
Well, Duran comes up and makes a nice play, but a lot of that, McDougal went to make a cut and slip. So that helped out. But we're going to see a lot of that today. It's going to be a big part of the game in the footing. And that's why special teams, Chris, are going to play such a big part in field position.
Give him a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. No score, 1st quarter. Clock running at 10:20 to play. Stretch handoff. McDougal hops over a man. And they are running Kevin McDougal. And why wouldn't?
Well, he's their horse, Chris. And like we said, you know, they're running the ball well. They're playing well. And they want to establish that run. But I think they're going to open it up because it is such an advantage, really, with this weather and the snow and the bad footing, to get the ball in the air, because the defensive line's not going to get any pressure, and the defensive backs have no idea where the receiver's going, so it's advantage offense.
The rushing story in the wins, 218 yards, and the losses, just 84. So Sonny Lubick knows his team needs to rush the football. Matt Newton, and he's going to call timeout. So Colorado State forced to burn a timeout early here in the 1st quarter. And Sonny Lubick will talk it over with his quarterback. We're going to take a timeout. 9 minutes, 34 seconds remaining 1st quarter. San Diego State, Colorado State scoreless. Third down conversions this year, just 24% able to convert in the 1st quarter, Mike.
Yeah, you know, that's an important stat. They're last in the Mountain West Conference, and I'm sure they're going to face a lot of 3rd downs today, so it's going to be important that they get a good start on their conversions.
Matt Newton to pass. Got a man wide open on the far side, and that is number 86, one of the H-backs, Corey Wolstenholme, the junior from Tampa, Florida.
Wolstenholme does a great job of securing the catch right here. They're not going to get the 1st down. They're going to have to punt it away. But he does a good job of making sure he catches the ball. He loses his feet a little bit. But again, I mean, we're going to see so much of this today, and it's going to be important to think ball first.
Dion Horinek to kick it away. He was 6th in the nation last year. And set to return Damon Gourdine. Short punt. Gourdine bounces into the end zone. And the Aztecs will have it at their 20.
Well, Chris, now we're gonna get a good look at Jack Hawley.
Our eFollette.com lineman of the week. This week it is Clark Hagens. 6 tackles, 4 assists, and 1 sack against Fresno State. Our eFollette.com lineman of the week, Clark Hagens. So San Diego State with its 2nd possession. The Aztecs at their 20-yard line, 1st down. Flags are down. And Larry Ned with his 1st carry.
Well, Chris, Colorado State's offsides, and Adam Wade came up to try to fake the blitz, and when he planted his feet, he just slid like he was on ice. He couldn't stop himself.
Part of the snap, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Certainly one of the concerns for Colorado State this week is stopping the run. They allowed 203 yards rushing to Fresno State last week, and that certainly signaled their demise in that game.
It sure did, and that was one of the things that coaches pointed out yesterday. We need to be better up front on our defensive line and stop that run, because San Diego State does have a good good offensive line, and they open up nice holes for the running backs.
1st and 5 at the 25. Handoff up the middle, Larry Ned driving close to the 1st down. Forward progress at the 29 or the 30. Larry Ned, a 5'11" junior from Moreno Valley, California. He alternates with Jonas Lewis. Good numbers, an average of 5 yards a carry and 7 touchdowns.
Well, the key is the 5 yards a carry. You know, you said they rotate, so both running backs get a lot of carries, and their numbers aren't going to be extremely high. But the 5.1 yards per carry is a nice stat.
So a first down for San Diego State at the 30. Hawley hand the ball to Ned. Big hole, and it's filled, but not before Larry Ned gets 5, 6, maybe 7 yards. Ned runs with a lean, they say, and he's able to pick up additional yardage.
Well, there's a big hole here, Chris. They open up a nice line. Line opens up a nice hole for Ned, but he struggles a little bit going through it, takes a hit, but he keeps driving his feet, and that's the main thing, and he gets that extra yard.
San Diego State's offense averages 26 points a game. Colorado State defense allowing 26 points a game. Aztecs 2nd and 4. Hawley, play action, and a quick completion to Jim Angie, San Diego State tight end. Angie becoming a factor this year. And Aztecs like to throw to their tight ends if they can.
Well, Hawley gets it out to him right away, but Sprague comes up and makes a nice hit, secures the tackle, doesn't allow him to get that extra yard.
So a short gain, and a 3rd and 3 coming up for San Diego State. The Aztecs 36% on the year, 3rd down conversions. Rams show blitz. They hand the ball to Ned, and he is hit and driven back, no gain. So the Colorado State defense comes alive. Number 42, Ula Tuateli, making the hit, the senior from San Bernardino, California.
Tuateli comes in nice and fills the hole, makes the stop. This is like we said a minute ago. The one thing they really wanted to work on was stopping the run, and they're doing a good job so far this afternoon.
First punt for Justin Cisco, 42 yards. This is number 2. Dallas Davis at his 28. And a marker is down. Could be too much time for the Aztecs. Our first referee is
kicking team, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Gerald Wright, our first referee. That'll cost the Aztecs 5. Cisco's a junior from Riverside. First team junior college All-America there, averaging 44 yards a kick. It's a tough assignment for the punter today. Hang on to the ball and get it away.
Well, it's a tough assignment for the punter, but the center, I think, is even tougher, because right there, you're going to see it.
Snap is over his head. Cisco being rushed, and he gets it away. Pretty good punt under the circumstances, and it takes an Aztec bounce all the way to the 47-yard line.
Chris, that was a great play by Cisco right there. I mean, what an athletic move. When the ball's in the end zone, I'm thinking kick it out. Don't give him a touchdown. But he does a nice job of just getting it off, and then gets a good bounce and gets it out to the 50-yard line.
So San Diego State with a special teams mistake. Good field position coming up for the Colorado State Rams. Stay with us. And 10. The Aztecs 46. Newton, everybody out in the pattern. He throws. It's complete. Going to be a very short game. Pass complete to Corey Woolstenholme. The snow continues to come down hard here at Hughes Stadium. Been snowing all night and so far all day. 2 rivals in the Mountain West Conference, Colorado State and San Diego State. Both winless in the Mountain West Conference, both needing wins to stay afloat in hopes of a chance to challenge for the title. Let's get out of Beth Mullins. Beth?
Well, the big thing for the Colorado State players during that last timeout was not only to stay dry, but to stay warm, but also to stay dry. When the players have been coming off the field, the first thing they've been reaching for is a towel. And they're also changing tape, changing gloves, whatever they have to do in order to stay dry. We've seen McDougal bobble the ball a couple of times. But also down here on the field, the wind has definitely shifted now, and it's blowing right into the face of the Colorado State team. Chris?
All right, Beth. It definitely is blowing into the face of Colorado State. That was a false start, a 5-yard penalty on the Rams. Ball handling conditions very, very difficult. So call it 2nd down and 13. And the ball, Kevin McDougal breaks a tackle. And he gets about 5. So Kevin McDougal running hard off the left side. Rico Curtis coming up from his free safety position to make the tackle.
Well, right now, Chris, Colorado State feels a lot more comfortable getting the ball in the hands of Kevin McDougal. They feel safer about it, and they're running the ball well under these extreme conditions.
McDougal, 8 carries for 31 yards. He'll stay in at the tailback position. 3rd and 7, Rams. Ball at the Aztec 42. Newton, play fake. Little wide receiver screen, Dallas Davis, and he's got the first down. Well, Dallas Davis, the junior from Fort Collins, and he gets the Rams the first down.
Chris, this is a nice little quick screen, but it's all set up by number 61, Sapia. He just comes out and makes a clean block and gives Dallas the room to get out there and get those extra yards.
Ball on the ground at the end of the play. We may see a lot of that today. No score here in the first quarter. 4:09 to play. San Diego State and Colorado State. McDougal has now moved into 9th place all-time on the rushing list. And McDougal picking up some yards here today. Newton hands the ball to McDougal. Is he tough? And he bangs his way inside. Rico Curtis once again coming up to make the play. Rico Curtis, a terrific player in the Aztec secondary. He came in with 317 tackles, 3rd on the Aztecs all-time tackle list. He has been a brilliant player for the Aztecs.
He has, you know, and he's kind of the quarterback of this defense. We talked to Clyde Gilbert, and he said, hey, Rico Curtis is the smartest football player I've ever coached. And that's a huge compliment.
2nd down, Rams, long count. Newton perhaps changing the play. They'll give it to McDougal. McDougal breaks 2 tackles. He got out of the hold of Joey Mayo, and he's driven out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Martin Klumak, the strong side linebacker.
Chris, again, this is a great block by 61 Cepeda to open up the outside for Kevin McDougal and let him use his speed to get around the corner to get those extra yards.
McDougal now with 37 yards on 10 carries. The Rams content to keep the ball on the ground. 3rd down and 4 here. Newton to McDougal, and he is stopped short of the first down as the Aztecs closing quickly.
Well, Chris, that 3rd down right there, that's an obvious passing situation, and regardless of what the coaching staff told us last night about throwing the ball a lot today, they're not comfortable with it right now. So they're going to keep it on the ground and hope to pick up that first down, but they don't.
Pete Rebstock, Dallas Davis check in. 4th down, the Rams will go. They need to get to about the 21-yard line. The ball is at the 24. Crowd comes alive. Long count on the delay, reverse. Dallas Davis, right side, he's got a convoy. Being chased, Dallas Davis, first down. Around the corner he goes. And near the 10-yard line. So Dallas Davis with a big gainer on 4th down. Finally knocked out of bounds by Martin Klumak.
Well, they barely get it off right here. McDougal almost falls down. But Davis gets on the outside, and Borvansky makes a great block right here to clear him, to get that extra yard, get the first down, and allow him to get up the field. Nice block by Justin Borvansky.
12 yards on the play. And an injured player, Pete Rebstock, is down. Rebstock, the sophomore from Inglewood, Colorado, and the training staff will attend to him. While we wait, some scores from around the country. Penn State, a final 23-10 over Ohio State.
Big win for the Nittany Lions, who Georgia Tech holds off Duke, barely. Ooh, Texas A&M outplaying Kansas right now, 34-17. Ooh, Wisconsin just lays the wood to Indiana. Wow, what a game there. You know, Chris, Indiana has a great offense, and obviously Wisconsin just shut them down.
Wisconsin's got it going while they continue to look at Pete Rebstock. More chance for an injury on a field like this than a normal dry field, Mike?
Well, anytime your footing's bad, I mean,
okay,
injuries are going to happen. And the thing about this field is it's a lot of clay under it, so it doesn't absorb well, and they said it gets real mucky. And, you know, you get in those situations and, you know, your feet get stuck in the mud and the muck, and you start turning ankles and turning knees. There's no telling the type of injuries that could happen out on this field.
The first big winter snow in Colorado this year, we're told. It started snowing last night and has continued on through the early hours of the morning. The grounds crew here has done a magnificent job in just trying to keep the field clear and getting the snow off the field. They continue to plow. Any timeout, anything, they're wiping the field as we speak as they go over the yard lines. 2:26 remaining first quarter. We are scoreless. BYU in action, Mike, this week against Air Force. It should be a good game. Air Force, Utah. Of course, two ranked teams. The Utah defense, the #1 defense in the Mountain West Conference. Federick having a great year. And Jeremy Rudolph last week had a terrific game against Wyoming. So Rebstock, they help him off. That's good news. He is up. And obviously shaken up as the Aztecs from Southern California try to keep warm. This is not Aztec weather. Matter of fact, Sonny Lubick says it's Ram weather. Ram weather all the time. We'll continue that in a moment. Newton, plenty of time to throw, looking for a man. Newton throws into the end zone, nearly intercepted. Azar Abdul Rahim was there. Incomplete.
Chris, that was almost a huge mistake by Matt Newton. He rolls out, he bides time, but his triple coverage, his receiver's triple covered, and instead of throwing the ball away, he tries to force it in there, and it's almost picked off. But you see the cast on Abdul Rahim's hand, and that's the reason the ball wasn't caught, probably.
Had a surgery this Monday. Screws inserted into his right wrist. Cleared to play. He is their best cornerback. Second down and 10. McDougal, straight up the middle he goes, and he's hit at the 10-yard line. Colorado State in the red zone, darn good. 13 of 14, 11 touchdowns, and a couple of field goals.
Well, Chris, that is darn good, like you said, and 11 touchdowns is what's so impressive. So many times teams get down in the red zone and they get a field goal, and that adds to the stat. But 11 touchdowns, that's tremendous.
Matt Newton is 4 of 5 passing for 31 yards, but so far the Rams content to run Kevin McDougal. 3rd and 7 now. Newton to McDougal, breaks off tackle, still going, and close to the 5. Tackle made by Rico Curtis.
Right now you start to wonder, is this 2-down territory? You know, are they going to go for it on 4th down? And no, they're not. But, you know, you got to start questioning. You've seen 2 bad snaps by the San Diego State Center. Is that the same thing going to happen for Colorado State? They're hoping not, obviously.
They'll spot the ball at the 6-yard line, so that would make it a 23-yard field goal for C.W. Hurst. So Sonny Lubick sends on his field goal unit. Hurst has been great this year.
But he hasn't kicked in weather like this yet either.
Absolutely, and he had 1 block last week. Ball is down, spot. Hurst got it. And the cannon goes off, and we have our first score of the day. The Colorado State Rams, with 47 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, take the lead 3-0.
Chris, the snap and hold are nice. Wasn't a pretty kick, but bottom line, it got through. It's a knuckleball, but it got through and got 3 points. You know, there, the footing, I'm sure, affected the kicker right there, because when he hits his plant foot, I'm sure it slid a little bit. He's not getting the traction that he's used to, but like we said, main thing is it went through.
Points could be hard to come by today, so Sonny Lubick choosing to get 3 right away. So the Aztecs trailing the Rams 3-0, and Ted Tollner told us yesterday in meetings that he would try to pass as much as he could on a wet field if that was the situation. We'll see if he does that in this next possession. Let's go down to Beth Mowens. Beth?
Injury update for you on Pete Rebstock. He suffered a concussion. The training staff says he is clearing up quickly. They're going to take 5 or 10 minutes to evaluate him a little more to determine whether or not he will be back into the game. Just took a pretty good pop when he was making a block on that play where he was hurt. Chris?
Okay, thank you very much, Beth. The Rams will kick it off. Deep to receive for the Aztecs. Damon Gourdine and James Trevelyan. Trevelyan 21, Gourdine number 1. San Diego State, the last time they played in the snow was 1982 in Laramie, Wyoming. They won that game, surprisingly, 24-21. Let's check it. So Hurst to kick off. And it is a horrible kick. Hooking out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. 25-yard line. And let's see. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. So the Aztecs will have good field position. What kind of play distribution for the Aztecs in this series, run to pass?
Well, based on what they've done before, and contrary to what the coaches told us, I think they're going to run the ball. They just feel more comfortable getting the ball in the running back's hands rather than dropping back and throwing it with this kind of weather.
San Diego State averages 155 yards on the ground. And the pass is overthrown. So Hawley looking to the far side. Pass intended for Lonnie Mitchell, incomplete.
Well, the first thing they do, Chris, is come out and throw and prove me wrong. But, you know, you're talking about the San Diego State passing attack. Ted Tollner said, you know, we're a vertical passing team. We want to get our receivers up the field, and they have the speed to do it. You know, look for Gourdine to start running deeper routes, maybe get the ball up in the air and let him run by the defensive backs.
On second down, Jack Hawley with Jonas Lewis behind him. Hand the ball to Lewis. Big hole for Jonas Lewis. He's got the first down, and he takes it out all the way to midfield. Aaron Sprague making the tackle.
Well, Lewis, Chris, is untouched until he gets 10, 12 yards down the field. The offensive line of San Diego State just opens up the huge hole up the middle. Look at him go. Tries to make a few cuts. It's not going to be very successful on that field, but he does his best and gets the first down. Nice run.
15-yard play for Jonas Lewis. Jonas is a good foul weather back. 253 yards in the rain at Fresno State a couple of years ago. Aztecs first down. Pitch the ball, Lewis. Lewis trying to get around the corner. He's going to be dropped for a loss. This front four of Colorado State, Higgins, Bennett, McKenzie, and Pollard, darn good. McKenzie making the tackle.
Well, they're very good, and they pursued the ball real well. And right there, you saw McKenzie get down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle.
That is the end of the first quarter. We're going to step aside. We'll come back. Colorado State. Back at Hughes Stadium, which opened in 1968. Last year, the Rams averaged 31,000 fans. That's 1,000 over capacity. Small crowd today because of the weather. But right now, they're feeling good. Their Colorado State Rams with a 3-0 lead on San Diego State. So the Colorado State Rams with a first down at their 5. And Rasan Sanders is into the game, number 41, 6 foot, 210-pound redshirt freshman from San Diego, California, and Horizon High School.
Of course, he's a good back, and he's done a nice job filling in for Kevin McDougal. Against BYU, McDougal didn't play at all, and Sanders played really well. He's the same type of back. You know, we asked the coaching staff last night, do you change things when Sanders in there? He said, no, not at all. We just keep it the same.
Couple yards on the play, 2nd down and 8. Once again, hand the ball to Sanders. Cuts off tackle. Gets out to the 12-yard line. Rasan Sanders, he is already the 9th best freshman in Colorado State history in terms of rushing. He's gained over 305 yards. The coaches think he can be the next Damon Washington, who starred here for 3.5 years. Got those kinds of moves, elusive and powerful.
Well, they're really high on Sanders, and they feel when McDougal's out, even though he's a big part of this team, they don't miss a whole lot with Sanders in there. But what McDougal does give him is that leadership.
3rd and 4, Newton. Will throw for the 1st down, incomplete, contact, and that's going to be pass interference on the far side. The pass was intended for Joey Kupari, and Kevin Burton was covering. When opposing passers have picked on Aztec cornerbacks this year, they have tried to work on Burton instead of Abdul Rahim on the other side, and that time Burton getting flagged.
Well, Raheem's their best player, like you said earlier, so of course they're going to pick on Burton. But you know, when we talked to the Colorado State offensive coordinator yesterday, Steve Fairchild, in a minute.
Pass interference, defense, spot foul, the automatic 1st down.
The one thing that Coach Fairchild talked about was the San Diego State defensive line, and he said definitely one of the best in the conference, maybe one of the best in the country. And if you've got a defensive line that good that's putting pressure on the quarterback, it's going to make defensive backs look good too.
Are you surprised there hasn't been more passing in this game, but for both teams?
Well, no. I mean, myself, no. I think that running the ball is a smart thing to do. But, you know, yesterday, like we said a minute ago, when we talked to the coaches, they all talked about throwing the ball in the snow, but they haven't done it like they promised they would.
Matt Newton under center. It's a 1st down for the Rams at their 16. Newton straight drop, looking left side, going long for Dallas Davis. Davis has it. And he gets all the way to the 39-yard line. Tackled by Tyree Smith.
You had to wonder when someone was going to open it up and go downfield. You know, that's one thing we were talking about at the break. Because the receiver has such an advantage over the defensive back because he knows where he's going. And right here, Dallas just goes down the field and runs a stop and go, kind of hesitates. Defensive back freezes and falls, and he's wide open. And Newton makes a great throw to get it out there.
A 44-yard pass completion from Matt Newton to Dallas Davis. Dallas Davis, the Rams' leading receiver. 27 catches coming in. So the Rams on the move once again. Newton having a very steady game. This is what the Colorado State coaches would like to see. Conservative numbers, no mistakes so far. 1st down, ball at the Aztec 39. Fake to Sanders. In the flat to Dallas Davis, and finally he is knocked down. And a loose ball. Rico Curtis made the hit. The ball came loose, but the play ruled dead.
Well, Dallas Davis catches that quick screen again, picks up his block, gets upfield, and he's just going to get bombarded by Rico Curtis and Scotty Nicholson right there. I know in this cold weather, when you get hit like that, that doesn't feel good, Chris.
Lane Sapaia, who's been playing on a bad ankle. He also has a bad knee. He's a 310-pounder, a senior out of Oxnard, and they're going to walk him off. So he should be replaced by Broderick Lancaster. That's going to be a big blow for Colorado State because he is the main man on that offensive line. Sapaia. Dallas Davis, 4 catches for 73 yards. And you see the traction, certainly a concern for all the players in this game.
Everybody, kickers, punters, snappers, everybody's going to have a problem out there today, Chris.
4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6 from the Aztec 35. Sanders remains in at the running back position. Pitch to Sanders, trying to get through the right side, does, and Sanders gets the ball to the 32-yard line, coming up from his right cornerback position, Azar Abdul Rahim. Sanders and McDougal running the ball effectively for the Rams.
Well, they really are, and you know, that's what opens up the long passes to Dallas Davis like we saw a minute ago. They're running the ball well. Those defensive backs, linebackers, they're all going to start coming up to support, and that's going to enable the receivers to get downfield and get open.
3rd down and 3 for the Rams. Sanders, and he's not going to get there as the San Diego State Aztecs closing very quickly. The Aztec defensive line, Baja Miller, Antoine Young, Jerome Haywood in on that play, and Scotty Nicholson.
Well, that's the type of play, Chris, that the San Diego State coaching staff expects out of the defensive line, filling the holes and making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
A 4th down and 1. Colorado State is going to go. Leading 3-0. They've already made one of these earlier. And the ball is Sanders, and he drives, and he's got the 1st down. Rasan Sanders appearing to get the 1st down. Yes, he does. Sanders from Horizon High School, a small religious school of 500 students in San Diego. Let's get down and check in with Beth Mowens. Beth?
Well, during that last break when Sepai was going off the field, the San Diego State people brought their equipment guy out with a special cleat cleaner so that the players defensively could clean off their cleats. And one of the problems, I think, with the traction guys is the snow is so deep in certain spots that it's just clumping up on their cleats and they can't get the traction they need. Chris?
Need some goggles with some windshield wipers, too. The wind is really picked up. Newton unloads, looking, pass batted away, and a flag is down. Joey Kapari in the end zone, and Tyree Smith is going to be called for pass interference.
Well, Chris, the offensive line from Colorado State does a nice job of giving Newton time there. But Tyree Smith is all over the receiver, and of course they call it the pass interference.
So the officials will mark it off. It's not like the NFL. You don't get the ball at the spot of the foul. It's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. 3-0 Colorado State. Let's get the official call from Gerald Wright.
Pass interference, defense, half the distance to the goal line, 1st down.
So spot the ball, the nose nearing the 14-yard line. It's a 1st down for Colorado State. And so far, Matt Newton, who took over last year for Ryan Esslinger, playing a very steady game.
Well, he looks good. Regardless of the conditions, he's playing a nice game. He's putting the ball where it has to be. Receivers are catching, making nice catches as well.
Keeping it on the ground, Rasan Sanders banging off the left side. So Rasan Sanders getting a workout. Keep in mind that Kevin McDougal, while he's a terrific player, he's nursing some injuries. He's taped up very completely for every game he plays. So Sanders getting a chance to show what he can do.
Well, McDougal is banged up, and we talked to Coach Lubick yesterday, and he said he just plays with reckless abandon. He said, I wish I could talk him into playing a different way, but that's why he's Kevin McDougal, because he plays like that.
2nd and 9 from the Aztec 13. Rams, Newton pitches left side, and San Diego State coming up with a big play. Will Demps, the strong safety, slicing through and making the hit. This is Mountain West Conference football. We're glad you're with us for San Diego State and Colorado State in cold and snowy Fort Collins, Colorado. Chris Marlowe, Mike Holt, Beth Mowens. Low scoring. Problems moving the ball. Problems catching the ball. Problems seeing the ball.
Problem with everything, but really, I mean, Colorado State, take your hat off to them. They're doing a nice job of controlling the clock and moving the ball down the field and keeping it out of San Diego State's offensive hands.
It's a 3rd and long. Newton looking into the end zone, looking for Frank Rice. Incomplete. Aztecs, good coverage on that play. Rico Curtis coming over and said, I'm knocking that one away, pal. Curtis and Rice, two of the fine performers in the Mountain West Conference.
Rico's Curtis does a nice job, like you said, of coming over and knocking the ball down. Newton has plenty of time. He makes a good throw. But Curtis is right there to... Well, actually, it wasn't Curtis. It was
Abdul Rahim. Both of them were there. So C.W. Hurst, a 37-yard field goal attempt. Fumble the snap. Pitch nearly picked off by San Diego State. And the Aztecs are going to get a break. Wow. The snap was fumbled.
Well, Chris, the first mistake by the holder right there was dropping the ball, but we can understand because of the weather conditions. The second one was trying to pitch the ball. In that situation, he should have just gone down and taken the sack, because Will Dimps comes through right at the end, as we're going to see right there. He drops the ball.
Hornick, the punter, is the holder, and he nearly ladders this one right to Will Dimps.
Well, that's the mistake he almost made, and Will Dimps almost had a chance to take it the length of the field for a touchdown.
7.5 minutes to play until halftime. San Diego State, first pass completion to Damon Gourdine. And Gourdine knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So the Aztecs get a big break. They still trail 3-0. Gourdine on the year, the leading receiver in the Mountain West Conference with 32. Not putting up quite as big a numbers as he did last year, but teams are keying on him a little bit more.
Well, true. Anytime you have a great year, teams are going to key on you. But that's when you start going to the other receivers and opening it up even more.
Larry Ned has alternated back in. He's the running back. San Diego State, 2nd and 4. Ned off tackle. Ned very close to the first down. So Larry Ned, all-conference honorable mention last year. Bothered by injuries and content to split time with Jonas Lewis. Some say Ned should play more, but Jonas Lewis, a very capable back in his own right.
There is, you know, and like you say, they're both capable. And when we talked to the coaches yesterday, they rotate starts every other game. It's not, and whether they keep them in the game for how long, it just depends on how that person's playing at the time.
Ned is a junior. Lewis is a senior. And so the Aztecs are going to call for a measurement. Aztecs offense has sputtered so far today. And the regular chains up here at Fort Collins, no dipstick. We'll get the measurement. The Aztecs going to be short by nearly a yard, at least a yard. So San Diego State with a 3rd down play. The Aztecs 36% this year. Kind of a play, Mike, you're a quarterback, a former quarterback. What kind of a play would you call here if you're Ted Tolman?
Well, right now I'm going to keep it on the ground. I'm going to be safe. They've been successful off tackle so far in this drive. Let's do it again and see if we can pick up the first down.
Spot the ball at the Aztec 42. With 6:42 to go, the Aztecs, big 3rd down here. Gives the ball to Larry Ned. First down. Ned bursts through out to the 49-yard line. So Mike Hold, you called it.
Well, that's the same play they ran the play before, and they got the yardage. Why not go back to it?
San Diego State offensive line doing a great job opening holes. Greg Spillane, 300. Ted Prunty, 300. Mike Milano, 300. Andrew Klein, 300. And the big man, Mike Houghton, at 305. So a 6-yard gain for Larry Ned. Aztecs with first down at their 48. Hawley looking deep. Incomplete, but a marker is down. Pass intended for Lonnie Mitchell. And there was contact. He was battling with Justin Gallimore, the sophomore. And it looks like pass interference.
Chris, we talk about their vertical passing game, and they can get upfield. Right there, that ball is just underthrown by Jack Halley. or excuse me, Jack Hawley, if he leads him about 2 more steps, they've got a chance to score.
Make the bump a little earlier in that play.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, San Diego State gets a break on a pass interference call. Certainly very difficult for the DBs to get traction. Offensive receivers certainly know where they're going. And that is a part of the difficulty for Colorado State right now. San Diego State, the ball at the 37 of Colorado State. First down. And the ball to Larry Ned. He skips right side, where he's tackled. Larry Ned carried 55 times in one high school game. David Vickers making that tackle. So he's got some durability. He can carry the ball a lot.
Well, they're going to him a lot right now. He's definitely their workhorse in this situation. But I think by running the ball, I look for San Diego State to open up and go downfield more often with the pass.
3 wides this time for San Diego State. Hawley, pass was tipped. Gordine catches it anyway. Damon Gordine with the completion. Ula Tuatelli.
Well, that, Chris, obviously was sort of a busted play, if you will. It started off bad. Hawley never had control of the ball, but he does a nice job of getting rid of it. And then Gordine, being the great athlete that he is, makes a good catch and makes something positive out of a bad situation.
Adam Wade with the tip. 5 minutes to play exactly. 3-0 Colorado State. San Diego State, meanwhile, driving. Third and 2. Larry Ned. And he is going to be very close to the first down. Ned with the lead. Clark Hagens with the tackle. Hagens, the school record holder with 32 sacks. Also a good run stopper.
San Diego State talked about Hagens quite a bit. They're going to get the first down right there. And how good he is as a defensive player. You know, you say, well, how do you prepare for that? And they said, well, we've got one of our own in Kabir. And, you know, both of them are the same type style of player. And, you know, hey, when we're going up against Kabir, that's going to be perfect practice going against Hagens.
Greg Spillane, the assignment on Clark Hagens today. 1st and 10, Aztecs. Ball to 26. Sweeping left side. And out of bounds once again is Larry Ned. So they're running Ned. They're getting great production from the offensive line as Aaron Sprague knocks him out of bounds. Nearly 9 yards on the run.
Well, again, they're going to get Ned outside off tackle and towards the end. And like you said, the line is just doing a nice job of getting upfield, making their blocks, and giving the running backs room to run.
There's an injury on the field, and we're going to take a timeout. We're coming back. Colorado State 3, San Diego State nothing.
Leather seats.
Sing Rams leading the Aztecs. San Diego State, however, has a 2nd and 2. The ball at the Colorado State 18. Aztecs have been running some short passing. There's Larry Ned again off the right side, and I don't think he has the first down.
Now, he's going to be short here, Chris. Colorado State's defensive line does a nice job of getting in the gaps and stopping Ned before he can get a full head of steam.
Aztecs in the red zone, perfect this year. The big number, 13 touchdowns. And San Diego State, a decision here. The Aztecs need to get to about the 16.5-yard line. Sean Pierce in motion. They'll split out wide right. Ned sweeping left. Cuts through a hole, and he is going to have the first down.
Chris, that's been the bread and butter play on that drive, and it's got them the yards and the first downs they needed, so why not go back to it when you need it the most?
San Diego State seems to be running more effectively to the left side.
Well, they are running, and that's why, I mean, you talk about tendencies. Sometimes teams have too many tendencies one way or the other, but if it's working for you, go with it, and that's what they're doing.
Running at Hagens instead of away from him right now. Ted Tollner's squad trailing 3-0, but moving the ball after the botched field goal by Colorado State. On first down, Hawley hands the ball to Ned. Reverse coming. Gordine is tackled for a loss. David Vickers sniffed it out and made the play, number 37.
Well, they try a little trickery there, San Diego State does, but like you said, David Vickers sticks to his assignment, stays at home, and makes a nice tackle. You see Vickers just come up. He's aware of what's going on, just a real smart play.
6-yard loss on the play. Aztecs not passing much, but rushing well. 2nd down and 16 now. The Aztecs push back to their 21. Hawley looking downfield, got a mile to run. Looking for a block from Ned. Ned on Vickers. Hawley. And Hawley dives. He's going to come up short of the first down. We've talked a little bit about the athletic abilities of Jack Hawley. He has some good ones, not only the arm, but good legs.
Well, they just said all around physical talent, the coaching staff from San Diego State, that is, said he is tremendous. And right here, you're going to see him pick up a good block by Ned and then get his head down. He's not afraid to try to get that extra yard. Physical quarterback as well.
2-down territory, perhaps for the Aztecs here. It's 3rd and 1.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
15 yards on the play to Larry Ned. Larry Ned close to the first down. Ned running behind Greg Spillane and Ted Printy. Had to get to the 9.5 for the first down. And they're going to spot it just inside the 10. Here comes the measurement. It's going to be a close one, Mike.
And they're going to be short, Chris. So now's the question. Do you try the field goal with the bad weather, or do you try to get that extra half a foot and get it in for 6 points?
Tough call. I say try to punch it in. You need a half yard. You've got a big offensive line. You've got 2 terrific running backs. And San Diego State going to take time out to talk about it. So the coaching staff discussing it right now, whether to kick the field goal or go on 4th and 1. We'll find out what San Diego State does after this timeout. Welcome back. 3-0 Colorado State. 1:32 remaining here in the first half. San Diego State apparently is going to go for it. Ted Tollner has sent his offensive unit back out. 4th and inches at the 5. Hawley, quarterback sneak, driving. And it will all depend on the spot. If he got it, he didn't get it by much.
Chris, this is going to be close. I don't think he got it.
San Diego State players saying first down. Colorado State players saying no way. I think he's got it.
I'm going against you with that one.
The spot.
It looks short from up here.
He has to get just outside the 9-yard line. And the tip of the ball appears, let's see, 4-yard line, excuse me. Wow. He got it by the nose of the ball. So Ted Tollner in this Aztec sideline with a chance now with 1:28 to go. They'll have 1st and goal at the 4.
You know, it's a gutsy call by Coach Tollner to go for it right there and not take the field goal. But with the weather conditions, the field goal is not a sure thing.
Absolutely not. Gordine and Pierce are the wideouts. First down, Larry Ned sweeping right. Got a hole, touchdown, San Diego State. A 4-yard run for Larry Ned.
Chris, this whole drive, the San Diego State offensive line did a nice job of opening up holes for Larry Ned. And right there again, they do, and he has a clear path right into the end zone. And it's all set up by that going for it on 4th down and getting it. Big, big, big drive for San Diego State right there.
And Larry Ned handling the bulk of the work. Nate Tanberg on. He hasn't missed a PAT this year. And he's good. 19 of 19. A 14-play, 67-yard drive, aided by a pass interference penalty. 59 seconds to go, first quarter. San Diego State has taken the lead 7-3.
The Mountain West with the Mountain West notes and catch up with the speedy Damon Gordine. That's all coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff Mullins. Damon Gordine, certainly one of the key performers for this San Diego State squad at wideout. Now let's see what the Colorado State Rams can do.
Well, with 53 seconds, Chris, normally you're going to be throwing the ball, but under these circumstances, I have a feeling they may keep it on the ground and be safe right now.
Colorado State content to keep it on the ground to Rasan Sanders. Don't know if McDougal is hurt, but Rasan Sanders been in the last 2 possessions. And Sanders, the redshirt freshman, once again from San Diego, grew up idolizing Ricky Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner, now with the New Orleans Saints. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Clock running, 19 seconds. Perhaps one more running play, and that will be the end of the first half. Now Newton's going to throw. Trying to set up the wide receiver screen, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Dallas Davis. 8 seconds to go.
Well, it makes you wonder, they run all that time off the clock and then decide to start throwing the ball.
I like that idea, but why not throw deep?
Well,
if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna play possum, go deep and try to catch him for a long
They
game.
had a receiver going deep there, Chris, but he was covered. And Newton does a smart thing, and instead of trying to force the ball downfield and maybe give up a big play and an interception or something, he does a smart thing and just throws the ball away. That way, they've got another shot at it. And if they want to go for it, they have that opportunity to.
Sonny Lubick, the 1994 National Coach of the Year, with a 3rd and 10. Loose ball, and San Diego State has it. And Kabir Baja-Biamila comes up with a football. So a loose exchange, and the Aztecs are going to have 5 seconds to perhaps get something done.
Well, normally, in this situation, you think that'd be a sure 3 points, but it's not. This could not hurt them, but obviously San Diego State's going to get a shot to go for it at the end zone.
3rd fumble of the day for Colorado State. If you follow the Aztecs, you know that they do have an effective Hail Mary play in their arsenal that they utilized against USC. Jack Hawley throwing into the end zone. He's got the arm for it.
Well, that's the play, too, that turned the momentum for him and got him back in that ball game against USC, because they came out in the 2nd half and played well.
So a decision for Ted Tollner and his offensive coordinator, Dave Lay.
This really, Chris, though, isn't the Hail Mary area. I mean, you're only on the 25-yard line.
And they're going to bring on the field goal unit. So there will be no Hail Mary unless it's a trick play. Nate Tanberg, his career long, he hit a 52-yarder earlier this season against Kansas. The ball's at the 25, so a 42-yarder for Tanberg. Snap is good. Tanberg's kick is on the way. Good! Nate Tanberg hits from 42 in terrible, snowy deep. Damon Gordine slides off a man and works his way out past the 20-yard line. Sonny Lubick, one time the defensive coordinator at Miami, when he leads at the half 43-3, when trailing at the half 5-19.
Well, by the looks of that, Chris, you'd think, uh-oh, they're in trouble. But I'm sure that's not a stat that Sonny Lubbock's even aware of right now, and that's not something that's going on in his mind.
So the San Diego State Aztecs will work from their 20. Aztecs have been alternating their running backs, and so far it has worked well. Jonas Lewis is the tailback. Hand the ball to Jonas Lewis, trying to get around the corner, and he scrambles for about 3 or 4. Jonas Lewis, number 32, Larry Ned, number 4. They do the majority of running for San Diego State. 10-3 is our score. San Diego State ahead.
Well, both backs do a nice job, like you said, Chris, and Lewis is going to get the call here in the second half, but we're going to see Ned as well. Both of them have been productive, especially Ned on that drive, the 67-yard drive for the touchdown.
Snow is a little bit lighter. The grounds crew here at Colorado State has done a magnificent job in clearing off the field. You can actually see the yard markers. And straight ahead, once again, is Jonas Lewis.
Well, I think Mother Nature has a lot to do with the field being clear right now, because it's warmed up a little bit, and now even though it's still snowing, it's not settling on the ground.
First half possessions for the Aztecs not going anywhere the first 3 times. They put together a 67-yard drive for a touchdown, then get a gift field goal at the end of the half on the Colorado State turnover.
Well, they started off slow, but you see that 14-play drive. That's what got the momentum change in their favor.
3rd and 3 for San Diego State at their 28. Hawley to throw. Throws incomplete. A horrible pass. Adam Wade was the only man in the area. No Aztec receiver in sight, and Wade thought he should have had it.
Well, he should have, and fortunately for San Diego State, he didn't catch it, because that was a bad throw by Hawley on that one. I think what it was the weather, though, because he came off holding his hand like the ball had slipped or something because of the wetness.
Justin Cisco, number 17, on the punt, the junior from Riverside. Dallas Davis is deep. Just the start of the 3rd quarter here on ESPN Plus. Glad you're with us. San Diego State and Colorado State. Punt is off. It's a low bouncer down the middle. Boy, and Cisco's having all kinds of problems as the ball is down to Colorado State with outstanding field position. A 32-yard punt.
32-yard punt.
13:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We're just underway. 10-3 Aztecs. Fort Collins, Colorado, a brave crowd withstanding the elements here at Hughes Stadium. 10-3 San Diego State ahead of Colorado State, the favored team. The Rams coming in as a 6.5-point favorite. Matt Newton has gone all the way at quarterback, and good news for Ram fans, their top running back Kevin McDougal is back in.
Well, it is good news, because he ran the ball well early, and that's what they want to do right now, is get off to running the ball well early so that they can throw the ball later on.
First down from the 40. McDougal bounces off a man, trying to get outside, and he stumbles for about 5. Aztecs thought they had him wrapped up. They did not. Azar Abdul-Rahim finally making the tackle.
Well, McDougal almost makes a great play out of that.
Look at the possessions for Colorado State. It's what could have been scenario. They got a field goal, a 27-yarder from C.W. Hurst, but then missed other opportunities by turning it over. McDougal, tough to bring down. He got 7 on that play. Newton to throw, looking for Dallas Davis. And Davis makes the reception. That is going to be a first down. The Aztec corner covering. Rahim slipped on the play.
Well, Rahim gives Dallas Davis a big cushion right here. Newton just delivers the ball on time, gets it out there. Those defensive backs they have to be a little cautious, because the footing isn't good, and that's why he's giving them the cushion, and they take advantage of it.
If you just joined us, it snowed most of last night, all through the first part of this game. Sonny Lubick says, hey, that's Ram weather. If it's 90 degrees, it's Ram weather. If it's a monsoon, and you got it, baby, it's Ram weather.
Well, it's sunny right now. It's awful toasty where I'm at.
Kevin McDougal hit backwards. Kevin McDougal stuck by Rico Curtis.
That's something, Chris, you won't see very often out of Kevin McDougal. He very seldom will be hit backwards, but Rico Curtis just gives him everything he has right here and wins the battle. McDougal goes nowhere.
So Kevin McDougal, a senior from Arvada, Colorado, a Doak Walker Award nominee, and he was popped by Curtis. Second down. Call it 8 yards to go from the 42. Newton straight back. All kinds of time. Newton wings it left side. Looked like it was on a bounce, was it? Or is it a completion? Let's see.
That's
Dallas Davis says yes.
That was a nice catch by Dallas Davis right there. Matt Newton does a good job of throwing the ball outside and low where only his receiver can get it. Dallas Davis sees it, comes back to the ball, and makes a great catch, getting his hands underneath and scooping it up.
So Matt Newton, the junior, on target, a 9-yard gain, first down, Colorado State. So the Rams look energized on their opening possession of the third quarter. 10-3, San Diego State up by a touchdown. McDougal once again left side. You have to gang tackle that guy. He is good. You do have to gang tackle him. He is powerful. But the defensive line right there does a nice job of getting to him and wrapping him up. Let's check in with Beth Mowens. Beth?
Report from the sideline for Colorado State. And Chris, you noticed that McDougal was out the last couple of possessions in that first half. That's because he suffered a separated right shoulder. Obviously, he's going to give it a go. However, wideout Pete Rebstock will not return in the second half. Chris?
That is bad news. Rebstock, a very talented wide receiver, came in with 16 catches. Colorado State, give it to McDougal. McDougal banging. And he is near the 25-yard line.
Did I hear Beth correctly in saying that he separated his shoulder? Holy moly.
Yeah, I've had a separated shoulder. I went to the hospital. He goes back into the starting lineup.
That's a little too tough for me there, Chris. I don't think I want to meet up with this guy in an alley, but look at this guy, separated shoulder and all. He goes right up in there and takes the heat. Sonny Lubeck had a great comment last night when we talked to him. He said, Kevin McDougal on the field means a touchdown to us. That's how much he means to the rest of the players on the team. We've got to have him in the game. Well, he's such a leader, and just his presence is so important for this team. They rally around him. 3rd and 4 now for the Rams. Ball at the Aztec 26. And the ball to McDougal. Trying to go around the corner. He's not going to get there. San Diego State. Michael Duran coming up. A special team star a year ago. He has worked his way into the starting lineup. Abdul Rahim there too. Well, McDougal tries to get outside right here, but Duran comes around for pursuit and drills him right on the shoulder. That's got to be painful. If he's playing with a separated shoulder, a hit like that's got to be extremely painful for McDougal. So a 4th down for Sonny Lubeck's Rams. And they are going to go. 2 for 6 season, 2 for 3 today. Newton, quick drop, looking for a man. Incomplete, but there's going to be a flag down and pass interference. Duran got caught up. He did not look back for the ball. He had good coverage right there, Chris, but like you said, he did not look back for the ball. He's there, and then he throws his hands up at the last second and gets a face guarding call. Pass intended for Brad Swoboda, number 82. So an automatic first down coming up.
The ball hit him in the back, and there's no contact.
That's Ted Tollner.
Well, you hear what the coaches are arguing, but again, he has got to turn around and see the ball. He doesn't turn around, and that's why they throw the flag.
Let's listen.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
15 yards and an automatic first down. So the Rams get a break. Ted Tollner and the Aztec staff incensed over that call. And a break for Sonny Lubeck and his gang. You know, Chris, the thing was, too, is Newton had his receiver right away, and he threw the ball a little late. If he had thrown it a little early, they had 6 points. The 6th Aztec penalty for 49 yards. First down at the 11. Fake to McDougal. Over to the right side and out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Corey Wolstenholme, the junior from Nampa. 8 catches this year for Wolstenholme. They're using him.
Well, it's just simple play action. They get the ball out to him right there, and they get some positive yards out of it. The thing I like right now is Colorado State's really opened up their offense and throwing and running the ball. They're mixing it up really well.
And the sun has come out.
And it's hot, at least here in the booth.
Just a couple of flickers of snowflakes blowing by. McDougal with 18 carries for 61 yards now. And a timeout call by the officials. Second down and 4. Ball at the 5. McDougal hit and slides to the 4.
McDougal off left tackle.
Coming up quickly and making the hit was Scotty Nicholson with an assist from Michael Duran.
McDougal takes it off the left side, and Nicholson just comes up. It really doesn't get much on him, but it's more of a slip, and that again is just because of the footing out there on the field.
8:19 to go, third quarter. San Diego State leading Colorado State 10-3. The ball's at the 4. Colorado State can still get a first down. 3rd and 3. Newton, McDougal into the end zone, touchdown. Kevin McDougal blasting off the left side for a touchdown.
Chris, that was a nice drive by the Colorado State offense that time. We're going to see here, they open up a hole for Kevin McDougal, and he doesn't need much of a hole because he sticks his head in there and gets that extra yard. Nice offensive drive for Colorado State.
C.W. Hurst on for the extra point, trying to tie it up at 10. Extra points, no gimmies, but Hurst bangs it through.
It's no give me, Chris, but it's a lot better chance of making them now in the second half with the weather clearing up a little bit.
Opening drive of the third quarter, and the Colorado State Rams march down the field. We're tied at 10. Back at Hughes Stadium, Fort Collins, Colorado, Chris Marlowe, Mike Hold, and Beth Mowens were tied at 10 with just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. San Diego State standing deep, James Trevelyan on the right, Damon Gourdine on the left. Colorado State a minute ago going 60 yards in 10 plays to tie it up. Hurst will kick. Rams trying to sustain their momentum. Kick is high to the 2. Gourdine. And Gourdine gets back to the 20. That's Swoboda on special teams making the tackle. 18-yard return for Damon Gourdine. San Diego State offense, well, it's Larry Ned and Kevin McDougal. Both, their averages aren't very good, but they've been doing some tough running, Mike.
They've been doing tough running. With this footing, I mean, they're just lucky to get what they're getting, but most of those yards that Ned had were all on that one long drive right there at the end of the second quarter.
San Diego State will work from its 21 on first down. Ned is in the game. Hawley lofting it. Incomplete. Nearly picked off. Jason Gallimore, one of the Gallimore twins, the former walk-on, nearly had it.
Well, he almost makes a good play. Hawley gets very lucky here. He floats the ball up there, and it's almost picked off. Just really an errant throw. He needs to zip that ball.
So a second down for Jack Hawley and the San Diego State Aztecs. Hawley played well in the first half. A mistake-free first half. 2nd and 10. Hawley dumps it off. And the play is going to be tackled for a loss. Breaking through was number 76, Mike McKenzie.
Chris, it's a good job by the defense here, especially Mike McKenzie, noticing that they're going to run a screen right off the bat. He stays at home and makes the play. Just a good, smart, sound defensive play by McKenzie.
4-yard loss on the play as Derek Lewis will check in. Sean Pierce will come out. This Colorado State defense has really been nicked by injuries. Eric Olson out, Rick Kroll out, Terrence Gibson out. It's a very thin Colorado State defense, but still very good. 3rd and 8 for the Aztecs. And a whistle, they'll blow the play dead.
Well, they really have rallied around as a defensive unit because, you know, like we said, some of the key players have been out. And in talking to defensive coordinator Larry Kerr, he said at times we've been with true freshmen out there who've never taken a snap.
Delay of game, San Diego State. San Diego State has not looked sharp on their opening possession here in the 3rd quarter, and that has to concern Ted Tolman. The Aztecs have had chances to win 3 of their games that they lost this year, and they were not efficient enough to get it done. So the Aztecs marching backwards now, 3rd and 19. They'll run the draw play to Ned. Larry Ned breaks a tackle. Larry Ned, 1st down. Larry Ned across the 35-yard line. So the Aztecs run draw. Howell and Gallimore making the tackle.
Well, obviously San Diego State catches Colorado State's defense asleep right there. It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and real long, but they give it the draw to Ned, and he takes it all the way for the 1st down. 24 yards. What a run by Larry Ned.
Ned last year, 87 carries for 448 yards. He's got breakaway capability as long as 45. So San Diego State, a huge conversion. Ned, and he's tackled for a 1-yard loss. So the sweep play not set up there for San Diego State. Colorado State defense coming up very quickly, led by Clark Hagans. Hagans 6'4", 255, a senior from Palos Verdes, California.
Well, we haven't called Hagan's name a lot today, Chris, but right there he comes up and makes a nice play, holds him to no gain.
Scouts have told Sonny Lubick that Clark Hagans is as good of a defensive end as they see this year. Certainly one of the top men in the Mountain West Conference. 2nd down for San Diego State at their 35. Larry Ned hit and tackled for a loss. Colorado State, David Vickers and Clark Hagans combining to drill Larry Ned. Tuatelli there also.
Well, Colorado State's defensive line, except for the long draw play, is really controlling the line of scrimmage right now, not allowing San Diego State to get anywhere.
3-yard loss for Ned on that play. 5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Tied at 10. And Hagans, they're looking at him on the sideline. His replacement is Chad McGuckin, a sophomore. Hawley with time. Dumps it off over the middle to Ned. Fumbles the ball. And San Diego State is going to recover. Gray McNeil diving on it for San Diego State. So the Aztecs will be relieved to punt it away.
Well, Ned's going to get the ball, and he's going to get upfield, but Greg Pollard, number 90, does a good job of getting his head in there on the... Oh, actually, it wasn't Pollard. It was number 9, Wade, does a nice job of sticking his head in there and knocking the ball loose.
Defensive coordinator Larry Kerr likes to talk about his bend, don't break defense, keep the ball in front of you, and that's exactly what they did there. Justin Cisco to kick. Dallas Davis is deep. Another low snap. Boy, San Diego State having all kinds of problems. Into the wind. And the ball rolling at the 46-yard line. So Colorado State, after scoring a touchdown on its opening 3rd quarter possession, will have great field position when we return. .357 to go, 3rd quarter. San Diego State and Colorado State tied at 10. A horrible snowy day has turned into a beauty here at Hughes Stadium in Fort Collins. Snowed most of last night, all today. The sun has come out. Beautiful weather now. We'll see if the game changes just a bit. Colorado State with its quarterback, Matt Newton. They've been handing the ball to McDougal. They'll go off play action. A wide receiver screen. And Dallas Davis, the receiver. Let's check in with Beth Mowens. Beth?
San Diego State defensive line coach Ken Delgado just got his guys together, and he knows one thing for sure. They have to utilize their speed because they are outsized to the tune of about 45 pounds a guy. He told them, among other things, we have to stay together. We have to stop the run on first down, and somebody's got to break through for a sack and get some pressure on the quarterback. Chris?
A huge weight differential. 2 yards lost on that play. So it's a 2nd and 12. McDougal trying to wrap him up, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Jerome Hayward, 5'9", 280 pounds. He was the Pacific Division Freshman of the Year. Both coaching staffs really like Haywood. They know what he can do.
He's a great player, and it's an interesting story when they talk about the recruiting. Nobody wanted to take a shot at him because he's only 5'8"3/4", actually. But Claude Gilbert saw him, you know, the first time he saw him, he's like, oh, come on, he's small. But then he saw him play, and he said, this guy's incredible. And he went back to Coach Tollner and just went to bat for him. And they signed him, and he's been a great player for San Diego State.
3rd and 10 Rams. Newton with all day to throw on the out. Got a man, first down. Joey Kapari, the redshirt freshman from Westlake Village, making the grab.
Chris, Matt Newton right there makes a major league throw right there. He throws from one hash, he throws it deep out all the way across the field. Just a great throw by Matt Newton. That's the arm that the Colorado State coaching staff was talking about yesterday.
Has as good an arm as some of the quarterbacks of yesteryear. Moses Moreno comes to mind. So Newton is playing well. 14-yard pass play. First down, Colorado State. Newton, this time a bouncer. Pass intended for Frank Rice. Covering on the play, Abdul Rahim.
Chris, that ball was low, but I guarantee you right now, Frank Rice is saying thank you, because if that ball was up, he was fixing to get ripped by the free safety.
Frank Rice played tailback, interestingly, in high school at Serra in California. Last year, he tore his anterior cruciate ligament, which means he hurt his knee. He's come back all the way this year, and he is having a solid year as a contributor. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Aztec 41, McDougal following his blockers, breaks 2 tackles, and McDougal is near the first down. Is that great running or just sloppy tackling?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, you're talking about a physical runner. They're not wrapping him up. If you don't wrap up a physical runner like Kevin McDougal, he's going to get the extra yard. And that's exactly what happens right here. They miss a couple tackles. McDougal, being the good back that he is, takes advantage of it. You know, right there, Chris, they run to the right side, which was their strong side. And talking to the coaches, they've run 112 times to the strong side versus 14 to the weak. Huge tendency. But like the coaching staff said, if you're doing something right, you're going to have tendencies like that.
8 yards on that play for McDougal. Here he goes again. He's got another first down. Make it Rasan Sanders with the carry. And indeed, the Rams have the first down. So Sanders carries, McDougal gets a rest, and the Rams continue the drive.
Probably a well-deserved rest, too, because with the separated shoulder, how many times can this guy take a banging and still keep on going? I mean, heck, let's give him a break.
Beth Mowens was telling us yesterday that when she spoke to one of the trainers, they said that he has 6 different tape jobs that he puts on. One for his ankle, one for his knee, one for his shoulder, one for his ribs, one for his arm.
Well, count number 7 for his shoulder now. They're doing something.
First down, Newton, pump fake. Newton waiting for a man to come open, throws into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Scores coming in from around the country. The ESPN USA Today top 25. Purdue looking very, very good early against Michigan State.
Kansas State's rolling over Utah State right now, 19-0. Alabama beating Mississippi. Good game down there in the Southeast Conference. Georgia has to come back to beat Vanderbilt. They were down 17-3 at one time.
Bionic Man is back in for Colorado State. We're talking about number 36, Kevin McDougal. They hand it to McDougal. He bangs off the left side. And we've got a flag coming in late. McDougal so far was 76 yards on 22 carries. Let's get the call. And a hold against the Rams. How about Mount Union? Everybody in Oklahoma crying right now. The Sooners' 47-game streak under the legendary Buck Wilkinson has been replaced by Mount Union. A 10-yard holding penalty against Sonny Lubbock's Rams. Sonny Lubick told us an interesting story. He said when he was the defensive coordinator at Miami, after the 5th game, he said, I'd be out jogging and wondering about what New Year's Day bowl game I was going to at the end of the season. Now, I've got to worry about every single game. There's always attention to detail. And he sees this as a crossroads in his team's season. A must-win situation for the Rams. 2nd and 21. Play fake. Newton chased, gets away. Matt Newton with room to run. And San Diego State finally wraps him up. Sheldon Pope, the senior from San Diego, coming up to make a good, solid tackle.
Well, Sheldon Pope does a nice job of making an open field tackle right there, because if Matt Newton gets by him, he may pick up the first down.
The pressure being put on by Kabir Baja-Biamila.
Newton does a nice job of breaking out of the pocket, but Pope's right there to make the stop.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. As is the custom on ESPN Plus, we may be going right down to the wire. At the end of the 3rd quarter, Aztecs 10, Rams 10. Along with Mike Hold and Beth Mowens, I'm Chris Marlowe. Welcome back. Start of the 4th quarter. San Diego State and Colorado State tied at 10. Both teams desperate for a win. Both teams coming off disappointing losses. Colorado State to Fresno State last week. San Diego State upset by New Mexico. Aztecs able to run the ball, but surprisingly, San Diego State with such a rich tradition of throwing the football just 14 yards through the air.
Well, you got to credit the Colorado State defense with a stat like that.
They pitch the ball. Coming around the right side is Frank Rice, and Rice is tackled. So San Diego State defense coming in quickly to make that play. The Aztecs getting down and dirty. That is Rico Curtis, who's normally in on the play.
Well, they tried a little trickery themselves and try to get outside on 3rd and long. But San Diego State's waiting for it. They're not fooled. Now it's going to put Colorado State in a long 4th down situation.
Claude Gilbert, the longtime defensive coordinator at San Diego State. He started his career in 1967 with the Aztecs as an assistant to Don Coryell. He was the defensive coordinator in 1969 when the Aztecs went 11-0, and on to San Jose State, and then coming back to San Diego State to work for his good friend Ted Tolman. There's Rico Curtis, shaken up just a bit. And it looks like Colorado State is going to punt the ball. Dion Hornick will kick on 4th and 12. Let's get a call. It's going to be delay of game. It is. And that'll move him back 5 more.
Well, it just gives the punter some more room to work right here. I mean, 30 yards is not a long punt. This way, 5 yards back further, maybe he has a better shot at the coffin corner. Because right now, Chris, it's all about field possession.
Damon Gordine, the dangerous one deep at the 10. San Diego State trying to set up the return. Angling right side. It's high. Well, the Aztecs are going to get the ball at the 16. Like to have a little more distance on that punt. Timeout called. 14:09 remaining in the game. 10-10 Aztecs ball when we come back.
Have you seen it? The topic of every tree's whisper. The reason the stars twinkle. What every wing caresses. Look for it and you will fail to see it, even as it surrounds you. It's in our first breath, our last, and every breath in between. It is precious, this invisible thing called air, which is why we try, in little ways, to protect it. It's just something to think about the next time you need fuel.
We gotta stop 36. This is our season here, boys. Come on, guys, nail it.
Gonna eat you up, big man. I'm gonna eat you up.
Hut, hut.
Meet Cyberbus. And his ball-hawking, tightrope walking, jaw-dropping Jumbotron hogs.
Yeah!
Madden NFL 2000. EA Sports. It's in the game.
I want to leave this small town. Go someplace where there's more people than cows. I want to see the world. Be part of a team. I want to go where people will listen to what I've got to say. Have people depend on me, not the other way around. Have a place of my own. Get an education. Help someone in trouble. Earn people's respect.
You have plans. Let the Air Force help you get them off the ground.
I want to hang out with people as cool as me.
Back in Fort Collins, San Diego State and Colorado State tied at 10. Now let's take a look at the Phillips Player of the Week. It is New Mexico's Brian Urlacher. Last week against San Diego State, 20 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, and scored one of them in the upset win. That was a big one. The Phillips Player of the Week. If you want to know more about the Mountain West Conference, you can dial in www.mountainwestconference.com. Good people there. Give you all the information. San Diego State, 1st and 10 at its 17. Jonas Lewis has alternated back in, and he skids to the 20-yard line. The score was 10-3 at the half. Colorado State coming out, first possession of the 3rd quarter. They go 10 plays, 60 yards, and Kevin McDougal running it in from 4 yards out.
Chris, again, Colorado State, like they did at the beginning of the game, controlled the clock there in the 3rd quarter. San Diego State didn't have much of a chance to get the ball in the end zone.
San Diego State offense has not looked smooth here in the 3rd quarter. Jonas Lewis around the corner he goes. Jonas Lewis, first down, and Lewis out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Run out of bounds by Justin Gallimore, one of the twins.
Well, Lewis goes flying over the bleachers. It looks like the bleachers over there, but I don't think Justin Gallimore meant to do it. I think both of them just got over there and couldn't get their footing on the slick sidelines.
Gallimore twins, Jason and Justin, identical twins. They spent a year each at Northern Colorado. They came to Colorado State and walked on. They roomed together. Sonny Lubick loves both of them. He only had 1 scholarship, and he had to give it to Justin. Jason will get his next year.
He said the next one that comes open, Jason's getting it.
Estek's got a first down. Wide open, pass complete. Gray McNeil, the tight end, making the reception. Let's go down to Beth Mullins. Beth?
2 defensive backs didn't even make the trip for the Aztecs because of injuries, and now the training staff taking a closer look at Rico Curtis. They were talking about a possible concussion, and then just a moment after that, the backup Brian Russell was on the phone upstairs. They are still evaluating Curtis to see if he can go back into the game. Chris?
That would be a huge blow to San Diego State if Rico Curtis cannot continue. Brian Russell, you might remember, was the opening day quarterback for San Diego State. He's moved to defense. He is not an experienced safety at this point in time. So the Zebras having a little discussion. There's a flag down, and it's going to be a hold.
Holding. Defense. The penalties decline. First down.
There is the aforementioned Brian Russell, the junior from West Covina, California, a solid quarterback. Didn't have the arm of Jack Hawley, and that's why Ted Toller chose to make the decision. Aztecs want to get vertical and throw the ball downfield.
They do, and they just felt that the better chance of doing that was with Hawley. Brian Russell, tremendous athlete, though, able to move over on the other side of the ball and contribute.
Aztecs on first down. Big hole, and Jonas Lewis breaking tackles and making his way to the 40. No, they'll call it the 45 before he skidded. So Jonas Lewis racking up some numbers. He once had 253 yards in a game. At Beaumont High School, he once scored 10 touchdowns in a game.
10.
10. Wow. Count them 10.
Wow.
2nd and 4 for the Aztecs as Larry Ned replaces Lewis in the backfield. Ball at the 45, and the ball to Ned, and he is stood up for no gain. San Diego State play calling, Mike, very, very conservative.
Well, very conservative, but it's too early to panic right now. It's 10-10. You know, even though it's cleared up a little bit, the weather conditions still aren't conducive to a good passing game. So let's be, you know, we're running the ball well with Lewis and Ned. Let's keep it on the ground and only throw in certain situations. Let's don't force turnovers.
How difficult is it for a quarterback in terms of holding on to the ball in cold weather?
It's terrible. I mean, his hand's frozen, and that thing's like throwing a boulder right now. He can't get a grip of it, I'm sure.
Aztecs 3rd and 4. They're 4 of 10 so far today. And once again, the clock runs out. Nope, a timeout called. So apparently the personnel group for Colorado State incorrect. San Diego State, when we return, 3rd and 4 in a 10-10 tie. Back at Hughes Stadium in Fort Collins, Colorado, Chris Marlowe, Mike Hold, and Beth Mowens on hand as we bring you Mountain West football. The San Diego State Aztecs and the Colorado State Rams were tied at 10 with 11:40 to play in the game. San Diego State ball 3rd and 4 at the Ram 45. Jonas Lewis is the tailback. Passing situation. 3 wide receivers go left for the Aztecs. Instead, they hand it to Lewis. Lewis trying to get around the corner. He does, and he may have the first down. He does. So San Diego State, as the tackle was made by Tuatelli, well-designed play here.
Well, Lewis just shows great explosion out to the corner. He gets out there with his strength. He sheds a tackle and reaches for that extra yard.
Tremendous blocking by the right side of the line. Mike Milano, number 53, out and leading the way. Aztecs convert on 3rd down after a 5-yard gain. First down now from the Ram 40. Hawley looking to throw. Got a man wide open over the middle, instead throwing deep into the end zone. Touchdown, Damon Gourdine. Damon Gourdine. And he beats Amir Lowe for the Aztec touchdown.
Chris, they've talked about the vertical passing game and the strength of Hawley's arm. Right here he slips, but he comes up and throws, no pun intended, a frozen rope to Gourdine in the end zone for the touch. What a beautiful pass.
A 40-yard completion from Hawley to Gourdine. And Tolner's Aztecs back on top. Tanberg on for the extra point. No problem. So San Diego State responding. 11:05 to play in the game. San Diego State Aztecs back up by 7. Back in Fort Collins, 11 minutes to play, 17-10. San Diego State regaining the lead on a 40-yard bomb. Hawley to Gourdine. Key play in that drive, Jonas Lewis, the 3rd down conversion around the right end for 5. Kept that drive alive. Brian Simjanowski to kick it off. Dallas Davis and Frank Rice are deep. It's heading towards Dallas Davis. And it's into the end zone for a touchback. Colorado State ball at its 20. Let's check in with Beth Mowens. Beth?
Chris, at halftime, Ted Tolner told his players, guys, we have to find ways to make the big plays. Of course, fresh in their mind were the 6 second-half possessions last week that they had starting at midfield and didn't get any points on the board. They just got their big play to Damon Gourdine. Chris?
Well, last week, by everybody's account in San Diego, where I live, the Aztecs laid an egg against New Mexico. New Mexico played well, but the Aztecs let one get away there. Let's see how the Colorado State Rams respond here. Rasan Sanders is into the game, and he'll sweep right side for a 1-yard gain. So Sanders back in, replacing McDougal. McDougal has been the main man, but he is beat up, and so they're giving him periods of intermittent rest.
Chris, and well deserved. You go back to that separated shoulder. It's just amazing that he was even back on the field in the second half, but you had to figure he wasn't going to be able to go the whole way.
From the 21, 2nd down and 9. Newton with time, throws over the middle, intercepted by San Diego State. It's Rico Curtis at the 40. Curtis weaving his way back. And San Diego State will have the ball at the Colorado State 22. The 4th turnover in the game for Colorado State.
Well, this is a huge turnover, and Rico Curtis, who was out with a possible concussion, comes back in to make a big play. He just reads the eyes of Matt Newton. Matt Newton's looking all the way at his receiver. Rico sees it, flows to the ball, and makes a great pick.
Rico Curtis. Claude Gilbert was telling us, if you look at Rico Curtis as an NFL prospect, you eyeball him, he won't make it. He doesn't run that fast, and he's not that big, but he is a football player. Claude Gilbert's glad to have him. Officially, it is 3 turnovers for the Colorado State Rams. Aztecs trying to take advantage. Ball at the 23. Handoff, Larry Ned. Ned breaks a tackle. Ned to the 12. So San Diego State starting to pound Colorado State.
Well, Chris, you know, at halftime we talked about turnovers and momentum swing, and right now turnovers have swung momentum in the favor of San Diego State, and they're capitalizing right now.
An 11-yard gain for Larry Nett. It's amazing what a long pass to stretch the defense does for an offense. Aztecs moving quickly. First 2 possessions, 9 plays, 16 yards their last drive. They were working it, 7 for 83. Aztec first down, Hawley underthrows it. Justin Gallimore was there, but that pass woefully underthrown and nearly intercepted.
Well, they run a little naked boot and sneak the tight end out to the left side. Gallimore does a good job of staying at home and not getting fooled and makes a nice play. If it's not for that, it's a touchdown and 6 more points for San Diego State.
Jim Angie expecting a more lofted pass, not getting it. That brings up 2nd down.
Well, Hawley definitely gave the defensive back a shot there by not lobbing it, like you said.
From the 12, Aztecs have to get to the 2 for a first down. Larry Ned carrying to the 8. So Larry Ned and Jonas Lewis, as they normally do, getting a workout. And who would have ever thought it, that San Diego State has turned into a power rushing team after all the great quarterbacks of the past: Rod Dowhauer, Don Horn, Dennis Shaw, Brian Sipe, Jesse Freitas, Craig Penrose, Ton Santos, just to name a few off the top of my head.
Well, you do you keep with what's getting you there, and right now it's the running game, so stay with it and throw when you have to. And you know, the big touchdown pass a minute ago, they lulled him to sleep with the run and then got the deep guy open.
Spot the ball at the 9, a 3rd down and 7. 2 wides go left. Hawley, the run, Ned, and Ned is going to be short of the first down. So Ted Tollner and Dave Lay playing it conservatively, and they will ask Nate Tanberg to come on and give them a 10-point lead.
Well, if they can convert on this field goal right now, Chris, 10-point lead with the way the offenses are playing, actually really for both teams, that's, you know, a big hurdle to overcome for CSU.
Tanberg this year, very, very good. 8 of 10. He struggled the last 2 years, but now has become very consistent. .22-yard field goal, and the snap was bad, and San Diego State will not get its 10-point lead.
Well, what happened right there, Chris, was a bobbled snap. by the holder. It was a good snap by the center. The holder just does not get the ball down. You see Cisco, who is also the punter, it's a little high, but he should handle that ball. Given the weather conditions, you might want to give him, you know, the benefit of the doubt, but he needs to get it down. Right there is a perfect opportunity to go up by 10. Now let's see what Colorado State can do.
So the San Diego State Aztecs make a crucial error. Colorado State dodges a bullet, and the Rams will have the ball at their 8-yard line. San Diego State thought it might get a touchdown. They didn't. Thought it had a sure field goal. They didn't. Newton, Rasan Sanders with the carry. So they're working Saunders here in the fourth quarter.
Chris, the one thing Colorado State ought to think about doing right now is maybe screening a little bit. They're not very effective throwing the ball downfield. San Diego State's defensive line's doing a nice job of stopping the run. Screen the ball, see if that'll open up the passing game and running game a little bit.
4 yards on the carry for Sanders. Frank Rice at the bottom with one-on-one coverage. Keeping it on the ground to Sanders. Sonny Lubick, he likes to run the football, no doubt about it. His offensive coordinator, Steve Fairchild, told us last night, we do 60-40 run pass. We like to have a 50-50, but we like to run more than we like to pass. And I guess the key is Newton, isn't it? Can he be consistent? What kind of plays do you call?
Well, sure. I mean, right now, it's all up to the quarterback. And, I mean, you've got to give him something right now that he can be successful with. Nothing terribly long. You know, find the open zone, let him get the ball in there for the first down.
3rd and 5 for the Rams. From their 13, Newton to throw. Throws high, pass tipped, and incomplete. Pass intended for Dallas Davis. So the San Diego State defense stiffening a bit. And a punting situation for the Rams.
Picture-perfect call right there by Colorado State. He had Dallas Davis on the slant wide open. Now, that's a tough throw under any conditions, but he's got to make it, and he throws it high and outside and doesn't get it.
Dion Horinek will kick out of his end zone. His long today is 42. He's kicking into a slight wind. Gourdine is deep. Wobbly kick. Gourdine at the 45. And he'll sit down. Gourdine hangs on. San Diego State will have excellent field position. 6:25 remaining. The Aztecs leading 17-10. Let's go down to Beth Mowens. Beth?
Word from the Colorado State training staff is all of the injuries that McDougal has been dealing with today are flaring up a little bit. The sore groin, the separated right shoulder affecting him, as well as the knee. They may rotate him back in, but right now his status is uncertain, guys.
A big blow for Colorado State, and McDougal cannot return. The inspirational and physical leader of this Ram team. Aztecs give it to Jonas Lewis. And Jonas pushes forward for a couple. Clock continues to run. Hawley, solid numbers, not spectacular. He's 8 of 15 for 67 yards and 1 touchdown. Of course, he had the 40-yard bomb, which was a critical play.
Well, it was a great play, and the thing about Hawley today is he's not making any critical mistakes. You know, don't ask him to make big plays. Just don't, you know, go out there and lose the ball game.
2nd and 10. Jonas Lewis sweeping left, whistles blow, play is dead. So Lewis and Terrence Gibson, the boundary cornerback, I should say, wrestling on the far side. They break it up. Let's get the
snap. False start on the offense. Remains 2nd down.
What causes a false start for the offense? Is it the cadence? What normally happens?
Well, obviously someone's just trying to get to their block a little bit too quick. Sometimes it can be cadence. Sometimes it could be the crowd. Obviously today I don't think it's the crowd because it's not very loud out there. I just think it was an offensive lineman that was eager to get to his block. You know, you can't blame a guy for hustling.
It cost the Aztecs 5 yards. Saw the penalty comparison. The Aztecs with 2 pass interference penalties, which really has buoyed their yardage. And now Jack Hawley on 2nd and 15. On the inside handoff, they give it to James Trevelyan, and he is tackled for a loss. So James Trevelyan getting a carry. His shirt was white just a moment ago, and now he's muddy after that tackle.
Well, this is Hagan's making a good play, coming across from he comes across the field from his defensive end position to make the tackle. This is a big series, Chris, for Colorado State. They need to stop him. They can't give up the first down. Time is running out.
4:49 to play, 17-10. San Diego State ahead. 3rd and 17. 3 wides go left for San Diego State. Holly, draw play. Sniffed out. Adam Wade, the freshman linebacker, coming up to make the big hit on Jonas Lewis. Adam Wade taking over for Tony Colacion, who was injured, and now they think that Adam Wade will be in the lineup to stay. They really like him.
They do, and Adam Wade is a physical guy, and you see it right there on that play. He comes in, I mean, Lewis is no small cookie himself, and he sticks his head right in there, and Lewis goes nowhere.
San Diego State to punt it away. Keep in mind the snapping for San Diego State today. The long snapping has been an adventure. Justin Cisco has been in on a number of unusual plays. That's a good snap. Rifles it down the middle. Dallas Davis. Chance for a return out to the 22. So the Colorado State Rams have their work cut out for them. 3 minutes and 39 seconds to play. The Rams trailing the Aztecs by 7 on a muddy field. We'll be back.